Welcome back, everyone, to a wonderful podcast. It is week number 2, and in the booth alongside myself is none other than the great Espartamos, as well as Lux across the way. Doesn't he look gorgeous? And we have an amazing bit of content for you today, mostly regarding week 2, but a little bit of a look back into week number 1 of the season 8 Frontline. Man, you'd think I would have had this down by now. Frontline Draft Series. Lux, save me. What's going on in the Phoenix camp? Tell me about your week so far, and are you looking forward to week number 2 this weekend?
Phoenix is doing pretty good right now, in all leagues except for Vanguard. Champ team is feeling pretty good. We got a game against Mob this week, so we're probably gonna, yeah. So we're gonna play that this weekend, and then we have another off-stream game against the Marksman, who I really have no clue about in Champ League. So that's good. Bobby and JCC got into like a heated argument yesterday after our scrimmage against the Phantoms, which doesn't make sense to me because we were clapping them.
Okay.
But they still got mad and like dipped out of the call. So I don't know what's going on there. I have yet to talk to them. I'm just kind of letting the dust settle. But we'll have to see what happens there. And then Challenger team, started off 0-2. But, I believe in them. They're practicing, they're reviewing replays, they're playing together all the time. And they played 2 of the 2-0 teams in the standings right now. So Pandas, I think, are probably the best team in Challenger League right now. As indicated by the standings, they're 9-2 right now, 3-0. Mm-hmm. And the other team that we played was the Marksmen, who are also 2-0. I believe. So
you're saying you're saying there's an excuse for how terrible that team is. That's good. Okay, so that is good to know.
I'm saying that the team is not as terrible as everybody thinks they are.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
They can't beat teams so far. Not good, but that means there's potential. That's good. You did come out as one of the bottom 4 franchises after week 1, so there's a lot of room to improve. So I am looking forward to what can come next. Tell me about the champ team for your Phoenix. What was the response in the Phoenix camp after that loss? Because quite a few people, to myself included, did not vote against them. We all thought the Phoenix were going to be able to take that, and they didn't. Not one bit. Tell me the rebound from that going into week 2.
The response from my team really was that Jathan popped off, and they should have won the series because the Pirates played bad. We just played worse. Okay. And they are not shaken really at all. They still have confidence that they're going to take the number 1 seed. And we've got a pretty easy bounce back week this week, at least from my opinion and the opinion of people around the league. So hopefully this week we can bounce back, pull out a 2-0 week, be 3-1 after the season. Esper.
What is that?
You know what I'm doing? You guys, and any of you caught on what I've been doing?
No.
I've been changing my profile picture to a bunch of different things.
Oh my
and it just switches on screen.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so we're feeling pretty good for this week.
Okay.
Vanguard team is also feeling pretty good for this week, and the Challenger team is also, we're all feeling pretty good. So, we'll see what the week holds for us.
And that's good to be able to see like a Phoenix perspective. We had a big Pandorama going on last time. We had both Nugs and J-Rod, and across the board it's very lots of dichotomy between that franchise. They're doing really good in Challenger, not so good in Champion, and they're half and half in Vanguard. So it's kind of neat to see where everyone kind of stacks up. And overall, I mean, I've not been able to update it as of the Pandas' most recent win, but top 4 franchises coming out of week 1 were the Pirates, Casuals, Mob, and the Marksmen. Pandas have joined them with a 4th win in total franchise records, and so good load of performance. But we've got a lot to talk to you guys about, and I know that you're having a great time in the background there.
I got banned from changing my profile.
By the way, you mispronounced it, Monkey. It's Panadas. Excuse you.
Panadas. My mistake. And the iPhone X. That's
and the iPhone X.
Yes. Stupendous. Okay, so
what?
That's gonna be the matchup coming up. Actually, so if we take a little, you know what? We're skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead. We're gonna be talking about that here in just a second, guys. But we do have a little bit of a format. We're gonna be going through our current power rankings, per league. We're gonna do the predictions for each one. We actually have a breakdown of the playoff format going forward, and that's actually why good old Esper is here, because he has a better handle on it. It's gonna be really fun this time around. As a preview to that, let's just make sure that you understand 8 teams from each league will make their playoffs. So in the Champion League, 2 won't make it, and in both the Challenger and Vanguard League, 4 won't make it. But it's gonna be a fun way that we're gonna be seeding and making squads. But regardless, and also at the very end, there's gonna be a Player of the Week. So if you're, if you think maybe you were up for Player of the Week, we'll let you know. And it's 1 player out of all 3 leagues. But I know that a lot of you want to get your egos stroked, so let's start stroking together. Big circle, we can do it, guys. Power rankings for Champ League coming up right now. Be you surprised? Be you confused? We had a lots of increases and decreases. I mean, I didn't fix the ticker on here, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. But as you take a look-see, you can definitely tell that power rankings, especially because as they were kind of voted upon, they were influenced highly by the results on the pitch. And so Knights, #1 in the power rankings. I mean, Lux, give me your perspective too. It seems like a lot of people threw them up to #1 due to how hard they spanked their opponent. Do you think that was a bit of a misnomer because they faced a marksman that had green on it? That's both good. You took care of your opponent when you needed to, but do you think they're posted too high too soon only because they have an undefeated record because of that?
Honestly, I think that the Knights are going to probably be a top 3, top 4 team. And I think that their #1 rating right now is deserved. Okay. Because this isn't I think that the power rankings should be more of a not who is the best in the league, but who is the best right now. Okay. And so the Knights are definitely the top team in the league right now. Whether that continues throughout the season, I don't think it will. Like you said, the opponents that they faced this week weren't the top of the line per se. And if I remember correctly, the marksman actually walloped the casuals in one of their series. I believe it was
3-1, I think it was. I want to say it, yeah.
So if the marksman can come out and beat the casuals like that, it might be, it could be stand to reason that the Knights only beat the marksman because they had to play with green. Right, so there's a little bit of intricacy there that we don't know exactly what the Knights are going to be like at the end of the season, but I definitely think that they're a top 4 team.
Gotcha. And also you can definitely tell there was basically a reward and loss system of the Nova Ninjas matchup. That one was really fun to watch, and that was Thunder versus Pale Rider, and we got to see the Nova overcome the Ninjas. Ninjas getting punished for it by dropping a couple spots, and Nova increasing their stock, and I think that's well deserved. Esper, you got to see that matchup in particular. Do you think Nova will continue to crawl upwards? Kona wasn't there, or no, he was there rather, and they had Pale Rider and Cryptide. That seems like a party squad. I put them in my top 5, but I feel like they can jump. I feel like they can jump this gap.
See, I don't know if I trust Nova. Maybe it's just Cryptide that I don't trust.
Okay.
But I don't know. They seem like they're going to be a playoff team for sure. Okay. But I don't think they're going to be a good playoff team. But my big shock from this power ranking is Pirates. Why are they 7th? Didn't they just beat Phoenix?
They did, but I guess that shows a lack of faith of them. Like, they went and lost their next series just afterwards, and they lost it to the Mob.
So are they getting more down ranking because of the Mob loss than up from the Phoenix?
I guess so. Yeah. Because you gotta remember, Phoenix at the time were in the 2nd position, and then you fell to the team that did not move from the last position. So you just kind of get stuck. You're anchored like in the middle of both of them now. So I could see that. A little bit of a, hey, we still doubt you kind of thing. And Jathan did pop off in that match. Like, let's give him the props he deserves. That was an absolute necessity for him to perform, him and Nate. And are you surprised that Mob did get that win? Lux, that Pirates group, they gave it to the Phoenix. How do things fall apart when you face the Mob? Because everyone basically doubts them right now. And I mean, with good reason. They just picked up Buff Sosa in lieu of Jack's departure. So, I mean, like what happens? Do you think that Panda's Mob, that's our 2 eliminated teams from playoffs? Does this projected standing hold for the entirety of the season?
I honestly don't know. I'm fairly confident that the Mob will not make playoffs. I just think it's impossible at this point. The consensus around the league really is that the reason that the Pirates lost was because they started Typhon. Typhon like C2. So
Dang.
Okay.
that's not, those aren't my words. That's consensus around the league.
Okay.
And so the Mob got their win. Awesome, cool. But when Dinonaut is essentially your first round pick now, that's even farther of a reach than it already was. Buff Sosa should have been a 3rd, 4th round pick. Dinonaut should have been probably a 3rd round pick. Okay. Swanky should have gone undrafted. And Lights was probably a 4th round pick as well. So they came out and they were able to show up against the Pirates, but I don't see that lasting. I don't know about the 9th spot in the league, but I definitely think that the Mob is going to fill in that 10th spot.
Well, hey, we're going to be talking about the upcoming matches here in just a moment. So make sure, I guess we'll throw a few polls in there, Esper, if we can.
Okay, which one do you want first?
We'll actually only do one of these coming up, and we'll do it for let's just wait. Let's do it, I guess, for the quote unquote primetime match. We'll do it for the 3rd matchup. But we're gonna move on over back to us, and we're gonna have some predictions. You guys can tell us whether we're big idiots or not, and whether we are on the money with putting everything's on the line. So let's see how things pan out. So all right, we've got our first matches coming into this one for week number 2. It's the Champ League. Now remember, this is all gonna be on Sunday, so they got a little bit of time to tell us about it. Esper, you got to see Thunda. He tripped a bit. He tripped on grass. He tripped on Jaxie. That team was otherwise doing pretty good, but could not take down Pale Rider and crew. Ninjas though versus the Mob. Do they slip up against the Mob?
No. So I actually heard that this Ninjas team has like surprisingly good vibes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that was possible with a team with Jaxie on it.
Apparently Jaxie has known Thunda for a long time.
Yeah.
They're boys. Yeah.
They're pirate boys together with Nugs right after their loss. So, they're gonna destroy Mob, just like most people in this league.
Lux, do you agree with that one?
Yes. Oh, 100% completely.
Gotcha. Okay. And I mean, there's no reason not to otherwise, because I mean, this has just been a very stout team overall. So I mean, I'm gonna be given to the same thing. I have to move this picture that just so happened to appear out of nowhere. Why is there a dinosaur? Oh my god.
It looks great. It's HV Buddy's picture, but realistic.
Oh, that's terrifying. God. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think this one is one of those that we had the same kind of prediction with the Phoenix versus the Pirates the other day, but I feel like this one feels more sure. There was a moment at the end of that match where Grass could have put it away, or at least put it into like an overtime, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Grass to kind of get that next step, be slightly more clutch. So I do want to see that happen. I want to see if he's gonna be able to stand up to it. But otherwise, yeah, the vibes are pretty good in the Ninjas camp. Something that for that entire franchise doesn't feel like should be after week 1, but pretty good. But Lux, tell me about this next matchup. We got the Pandas versus the Nova. You got J-Rod versus, well, maybe J-Rod playing versus Cryptide. How does that pan out for us?
If I'm being honest, I haven't really seen the Pandas play yet. That was one of my question marks, is why I couldn't pin down a number 9 team, because I don't know. I believe that's what Kaiju, somebody Kryptonic Fate, Ski Boy, Kaiju, Ski Boy, and Kryptonic Fate.
Somebody, yeah, just some no names, yeah.
I just couldn't remember. So I don't know. The Nova have shown that they can play really well at times, but they've also shown at other times that they don't really play all that well. And granted, one time was with Avion and one time it was with Kona, so I guess it depends on who they start for this game.
Okay.
but I think that the Nova are probably going to end up winning the series.
Gotcha. What about you, Esper? What you got a good old Kryptide. If he brings out Kona Pale Rider, is that enough to overthrow Kaiju Ski Boy and Kryptonic if they don't do J-Rod?
I have insider information about this matchup.
You always do. How do you know?
There's a rumor been going around that this Pandas team is going to go all Ford for this matchup.
Okay.
And if that is the case, I do not see Nova winning a game.
This is going to be a sweep? Okay.
Yeah, the Fords always sweep, all right?
Okay.
Learn that right now. As we are a sponsored stream by Ford 4x4s.
4x4, 4-on-4s, friends.
However, if the Fords do not come out, I do not see Panda scoring a single goal.
Wow. I mean, that is true. I am going to go a little bit colder on this take, and I feel like there was a lot taken away from that Ninjas matchup. I'm going to go with the Nova. Kryptide, I think, finally has a squad that's kind of matching speed, which is pretty good. I like the entire concept and matrix of that squad going on over there. And you can go and throw the prediction then, I guess, for this final one, because of course it's going to be my main man's the Casuals versus the Phantoms. And I mean, come on, I'm always going to say Casuals, but I'm also going to say Casuals because I truly believe in them. They as long as you guys finish your match, and do not
they know hockey?
Just make sure to finish a match. That's all you have to do. Just go out there and have fun and turn off quick chat. Please God, guys, please. Esper, what do you got for this one?
Unfortunately, I do think in order for the Casuals to win this series, they will have to take a modded game where they don't have a leave match button.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know. It does seem like this Casuals team is the type of team to mid-series type in Twitch chat.
True.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
True.
But with that said, are the Phantoms really that good? I mean, everybody in Twitch chat when they saw power rankings were saying they were too high.
Oni, Els, and Ven, if they go with that main three, versus I guess it would be Tone, Sean B, and Bliss. If it's those top 3 and 3, what do you think?
It has to be the Casuals, doesn't it? I mean, I love Oni. He's been great, but he can't do it, man.
Okay. What about you, Lux? Any dichotomy here?
I think I'm actually going to take the Phantoms in this matchup.
Okay.
The Casuals prove to me that when they fall apart
Wow.
horribly. They lost to the Marksmen. Marksmen are 1-1. Phantoms are 1. I don't know. I just really think that the Phantoms are probably going to take the series if they can get Tone and Sean B to rage, which it seems like it doesn't take that much to do.
Do you think it's gonna be a lot on Oni for the Phoenix to perform? Because I've honestly not seen much of Take L's, but Ven is always that common third that supports that squad. Is it who's this rest more upon for the Phantoms to really overtake the Casuals?
So what I've heard about Els is that at least from the people that drafted Els, is that they took him over Bat because he's just more of a threes main than Bat is. They say they were around the same skill level, but Els is just more of a threes player than Bat is, and so that's why they took him. So if he's as good as Bat is, then I think it's probably going to be a 1-2 punch with Oni and Els, and then Van will fill in that third man rotation role.
Hey.
That being said, I do think it's going to be a close game. The Casuals can definitely prove me wrong, but with the stunts that they pulled this last week, I just can't pick them.
You know, maybe they'll change your mind. Who knows? You guys can tell us, is this right? Is this wrong? We each have something at least a little different from each other. We all think that the Ninjas are going to take it. I feel that in my soul. But you know what? Dinonaut, go out there and prove me wrong. I believe in your squad in some kind of weird way. But otherwise, Ninjas should be able to take that one. And you guys can, give us the business one way or another. But either way, we're going to be getting into the Van...
I forgot about it. Whatever. Who cares?
For what?
The poll for the last game. I totally forgot about it.
We'll bring it back in the next time around. It'll be okay. All right. Either way, we're going to go on to the Vanguard League so that you guys can see these power rankings. Oh, man. Let's see if there's a bunch of hate. Is there? But you can definitely see... All right. The way this one kind of pans out, it's the middle of the field trying to define itself. It's definitely a hot reward, hot punishment system. Nova Ninjas simply switch places at the bottom, and the Avalanche just as far down as they could from the upper half. Lux, break it down for me. Does this seem accurate to you?
Not at all,
No?
actually.
Okay.
No. I guess, given the results from the series this last week,
How are casuals 4 given the results?
I mean, I guess you can't doubt Maldi until he gives you a reason to. But I don't think the Bandits are number 1. I don't think the Bandits are top 5. And that's my personal opinion. I don't think Maldi can carry that team. They played. Who did they play this last week? I don't remember. Let me look at the schedule.
Phantoms. They beat Phantoms, right? Or was that somebody else?
No, they didn't beat Phantoms. They beat the Avalanche, who is now 10th in your power rankings. And they beat the Casuals.
It's okay. Everything's good. Everything's back. I hit a
and they beat the Casuals. Casuals are decent. So. I don't think that the Bandits should be your number 1 team. I will stay consistent in that I think that the Phantoms are the number 1 team in the Vanguard League right now.
Okay.
But that is just my personal opinion.
Okay. I think Bandits are still the top team because, I mean, I understand if you're saying Maldi can't carry them, but I think you're overlooking someone who had quite a pop-off week for the Bandits. We'll go more into that later. As for the Pirates, why are the Pirates 2?
Let's see. What did the Pirates do this last week? They did go 2-0. They beat the Marksmen and they beat the Ninjas. Ninjas, I wouldn't say are much of an accomplishment. Kind of the same thing as how you're treating the Avalanche, but Marksmen do not give any kudos to that one in particular, to that kind of beat.
I don't know. I guess it makes sense the 2-2-0 teams are 1 and 2. That makes logical sense. But if your point against Bandits is they haven't played anybody, then Pirates should not be there either. I think Casuals are too high of a jump.
Do you think it should be more like a 5-6 kind of?
Yeah, and I think Pandas have jumped a little too much. I mean, it seems like these GM power rankings are giving a lot of stock to random teams with random victories. Because to the same stance, Knights are 1-1, and so are Phoenix, but they both drop. Why? What is the difference between that record?
Let's see. So Knights, when they played, they won and lost. They did 2 Game 5s in this single week, and they did that against the Phantoms and the Phoenix. Did you guys beat them in that best of 5, Lux?
No, we lost.
Okay,
we lost in the best of 5. Our entire camp agrees that we gave them the series. We messed up. We messed up quite a bit. Rojas and I were talking about it afterwards, and we were like, just in general, that series was a scuffed series, but we just ended up making the most mistakes, and that's why they won. It was very, very close. We just thought we should have won the series. And then the other team that we played this week was the Avalanche, who obviously I guess is down at the number 10 spot now, so that victory doesn't hold much stock around the league, I suppose.
So I mean, back to my point. Pandas this last week, did they not? They got swept by Mob, didn't they? And then they beat Ninjas.
Yeah.
What is that? How is that a +4?
I don't know. The consensus around the league is that the Pandas are actually pretty good.
Interesting.
I haven't played them. I want to get some scrims in with them, but I'm also playing them on Saturday. So I cannot give any stock for it or against it because I just don't know. I haven't seen them play at all. So it's possible that 4-point jump is warranted, but I don't know.
I feel like this week we're gonna definitely have someone in this top 5 section drop out, but we're gonna constantly have volatility. I mean, that's just math. We're gonna have volatility in the 5 through 10 range. I think that's just gonna be just people eating each other alive. That's just too true.
My consensus with the Vanguard, or even all these power rankings, is these GMs have no clue what they're talking about.
True.
True.
Yep.
Like the giant jumps and collapses that they have on these power rankings show that. Like, we have how many? We have 3 +4s, a -5, and a -6. What?
Yeah, but also you gotta think we had the preseason kind of prediction power rankings based on just pure projections. Now you actually have statistical backing based on standings. So some of this does match up to the general standings. I mean, poor Ninjas and Nova, they're the product of that pretty hard. And Avalanche are right down there with them, 0-2. So it makes sense all three 0-2 teams are in that bottom 3 position. So we're gonna see this probably line up even more as the season goes on. But it's you can see even more reflection of like what people get to see, because it's what have you done for me lately mentality. When they see it on stream, they're like, how hard did they dominate them, or did they at all? So
right,
yeah.
And something to note is the Avalanche, their second round pick has been non-existent.
Yep.
That's a big part of why they're sitting at that number 10 spot. If Fubbin had a second round pick to help him, I think that they would be a lot higher than they are right now.
Oh yeah. But either way, we're going to be getting back to us, and we're going to be talking about our predictions. And of course, we've got good old Colonel Sanders with us. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to get our next scheduled predictions for the Vanguard League here right now. All right. Lux, you're saying that you doubted the Bandits. Well, the Bandits are first up. Bandits versus Ninjas, the top versus the bottom in terms of power rankings. And in terms of this, general standings, what do you got? Is this just too much to overcome for the Ninjas?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't think that the Ninjas stand a chance. Not against, just Maldi in general.
Maldi 1v3.
It doesn't matter who plays with Maldi. I think Maldi is too good.
Wow. What about you? Is it Esper? Is there any chance at all? Is our Ninjas already written off?
Okay, I think Ninjas will win a series this season. It's not going to be this one.
Okay.
But I think they could win one. I'm trying to debate whether Vanguard Ninjas or Champ Mob are worse. Obviously Champ Mob is better than Vanguard Ninjas.
Okay.
But in terms of like a bigger throw, which one is worse?
Very true. And,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm also gonna have to agree with you too. The Bandits, this should be a take, like an easy take. Ninjas have a lot to prove to me that they're a team worthwhile this season. Chill, you're in charge of that, so good luck to that. But the Maldi ZIRQ combo with Sauce, that's nice right now. It is oppressive, it's intrusive, it's in your face, and it's hard to ignore and it's hard to overcome. And I know that you're shaking your head at me, but until you go and beat them on stream, I just,
We don't play him on stream. I don't think we play him at all, actually.
No, you do. In week 3, you play him next week. So
we play him next week. Yeah, off stream. Off stream.
Yeah, off stream. I know for a fact you're gonna stream it. Okay, don't lie to me. You're gonna put it up on your stream.
I yelled at them for that because they didn't stream their fight. That would have been great.
We'll see what happens.
You don't know if you're gonna have a team.
We'll wait till week 3 to discuss it.
All right, so Esper, give me some word on this. We got Marksman versus Monster, and this is one that Monster requested Bass from the Past to cast personally, and I've done so. What's the outlook for the casuals and the Marksman?
I don't know. I don't like. You would think the Marksmen were good, right? I mean, they have 2 of the most annoying players in the entire league on there, and I don't know if I trust Monster's ability to hold it down when he's just getting spam demoed. I mean,
I'm fairly certain that the Marksmen have beat the casuals in scrims already, but that was at like draft night, I think. So it probably doesn't mean much, but that has happened.
I won't get demoed more than 2 times. I think that's a challenge to the Marksman.
Oh, never mind. It was Pandas. I'm lying.
Oh, wow.
Is that a challenge? Is that an issued challenge, Monster?
Dude, Marksman will hunt people down if you tell him that.
Marksman literally doesn't care if he wins or not. If you challenge him to a demo fest, he will just kill you.
I mean, I think you need to respond. Is that a challenge, Monster? If that's a challenge, Green's right here.
Oh my god. What do you got, Esper? Who takes this one ultimately?
If it is a challenge, the Marksman take it. If it's not a challenge, the casuals take it.
So we have to wait on the challenge. Okay, so as we're waiting for the challenge,
we're waiting on that.
Okay, I'll make
Neither
sure
is
that
Snow.
I'm obviously putting mine in. I saw some great passing plays. It was against a weaker squad because they only had Paganda, but if they can continue that chemistry and the grind, casuals easy peasy. And we'll see how this challenge continues to go into the chat. Lux, you were maybe misremembering, but have you gotten to scrim against the casuals yet?
We have,
Okay.
yeah, and they're good. They're in the top half of the league for me, definitely. I don't know how well their playstyle matches up against the marksman.
Okay.
Because Monster and Arvo are always in the opposing team's half. Monster does not play defense, and we discussed this, and he knows he doesn't play defense. And Arvo is caught overcommitting, I think, a little bit too frequently, and then they rely on JRaz, because we've only scrimmed them with JRaz. I don't know what their team dynamic is like with Gabe,
Okay.
but they rely on JRaz as third man just a little bit too much. And so if the marksman can take advantage of that, they have that very chasey play style. They turn on everything. They've incorporated Fantix into that play style. So Fantix also now turns on everything, and Clouds also turns on everything. So this is just they turn very frequently on balls that you don't expect them to, and it works. It's beaten me the last 2 seasons. So I think it's going to be a very close series, but I think the casuals are going to be able to hang on to the game 5.
Oh, you were debating me. I thought it was going to be marksman. Okay, all right. That's a good
I'll
call.
take the marksman. I've been convinced.
You're going to take marksman? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will say, definitely backboarding off of what you're saying with their way they turn. If that disruptive nature does slow down the casuals, their offense is based off of 50s and passing plays. Disruption will destroy that. So it's about how they account for that kind of play, but I trust in Monster and my boys to be able to get it done. Also, fun fact, Arvo doesn't actually have brakes. He can't slow that car down. That's why he just consistently goes. So, what are you gonna do? All right, now you can put up a poll for this one, Esper. So this one is our
The storyline.
Yes, the storyline. So this is the Phoenix versus the Pandas. It's Lux versus HV Buddy and Nugs. Okay, we're gonna save Lux's response for the end.
It's the Lux Buddy versus Harvey sequel.
I think that this one is gonna be really damn close, and I can't wait to be able to see this one in person. It's we're gonna get Bobby on the field. We're gonna get to see the entire Phoenix lineup. Oh man, I'd say the biggest weakness right now is, does Texas's power grid allow Mr. P to actually have internet and have the game online? I think this is gonna go game 5, and I think that it ultimately will go to the Phoenix. So
wow,
yeah. So
it's the first time you're ever predicting Lux to win a game.
I know, and that means they're gonna lose. But I really think that there's a big chance here. But I want to see the whole thing played out. Esper, tell it to me.
Okay, I don't know if Phoenix will have a team come Saturday. They got Jumper. You might have to play him. We don't know if this feud between Bobby and JCC is going to continue. I have beef with JCC personally.
Wow.
Okay. It's mostly because of his lack of snowman activities during the Texas snowfall.
Yes.
And Bobby has backed me up on that. So maybe I fueled the beef. But if there is no problems, Phoenix 3-0.
Wow.
Actually, that's a lie. They're going to choke one of them. 3-1.
Okay. 3-1. I mean, that's the Phoenix way. That's the Lotus way. It carries over. But Lux, give me your obviously unbiased, but give me your perspective. Give me this view.
Obviously unbiased. I mean, I can't base this off of anything other than what I know about my team and what I know individually about the players on the other side. But I do think that my team is going to 3-0. I really like the way that we play. We play together really well. And if I can get Bobby and JCC to stop yelling at each other for 15 minutes, we'll 3-0.
Okay.
If I can't, I don't know, one of them might rage quit on stream. We might have to sub in Jumper. I really don't know. But when Bobby, JCC, and I are all playing together well, I think we're the best team in the Vanguard League.
Okay.
Whether or not that happens week to week, game to game is another thing. Bobby and JCC like to double commit, and that's what started them yelling at each other this previous scrim that we had. They play very similarly and are in the same spot quite often. But I think if we can figure everything out and start playing together more and get those issues ironed out, I think we'll be good to go for the rest of the season. But again, it's not biased at all.
Not at all. I mean, I think this will go further than what you guys are saying, but I mean, we've had 3-0 from you, 3-1 from Esper, and 3-2 from me, and now it's a 50-50 shot as a result from our poll in the chat. So we have no idea. Yeah.
I don't think that the 3-0 is going to be us 6-1 every game. I think they're pretty much mostly going to be 1-goal games. I just think that we'll be able to pull them all out.
To Lux's credit, though, I mean, I see Green in the chat. We're the best team, also 5th. Lux is the best team in the regular season.
This is true.
To his credit, he is consistently the best team in the regular season. So
what happened the last 2 times I played Buddy on stream. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we let that heat trickle down. We're also going to go to our power rankings for the Challenger League. You guys were wondering why everything was so crazy last time. Well, you get your gift. Check this out. See where the bandits have gone. From 1st to 11th. There is...
Oh, come on, guys. You couldn't have put him 12th. Oh, my lord. Phoenix 12th? What?
Woo! That is... explain it to me, Esper. I mean, I know you're trying to break it down for me, but... bandits, doubt. Big doubt. Everyone thought maybe cool. Maybe they're fine. Nope. 0-2, 1-6. Phoenix 0-2, 1-6. Knights. So all 3 of our winless squads, again, taking up our bottom 3 positions. Ugh.
Who did the Phoenix play? Okay, so they're the worst team because they played the top 3 teams.
And that's what our man was saying before. You know, what Lux was telling us.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you could. I guess it's a little insider info considering it just happened today. But how could you rank the Bandits higher than the Phoenix when they just got rid of their 2nd round pick?
Was he really a 2nd round pick though? Like, come on.
I don't know. Troy Parker liked to talk like he was. I don't know.
He was very good. He held his own in Vanguard scrims.
Okay.
He just doesn't play ranked, and I think from what I've heard, he was very toxic and just completely dipped, and so that's why he...
Okay. Well, what do you think of this improvement by the mob? People had them just slam hog down to the bottom, but now they're making that rise. They've shown some promise. They're actually, because they just recently won, they actually just beat the Casuals in their off-stream match. They're 2-1. So, do you think they're deserving of where they've elevated to? Anyone? That's
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be the hardest one. Obviously, we always talk about this. Challenger, I could see tomorrow. Casuals lose, and then next week the Casuals are down to 9th. Like, okay. I feel like Challenger is the overreaction league.
It does. Well, you can definitely see how, like, and this is obviously week 1 temperament. Everything in the middle went crazy. The bottom just dropped in on itself. But the top stayed relatively unchanged, at least top 3. Pandas did make a vie for the top position. Obviously taking over where the Bandits vacated like a meteor, trying to, get rid of the dinosaurs. But they're 3-0 now after one of their off-stream matches here in week 2. So they're 9-2. That Pandas team is starting to look very, very real. And the Marksmen, they're making a sprint for it. They jumped 7 positions. Do you think that's too much?
Quickly, can I drop some breaking news for everybody?
Drop it in. Hit us with it.
Everybody said the Pirates were really good, but the Phantoms just 3-1 them in their league game. So
that means the Phoenix are even worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does not look good for the Phoenix.
Oof.
Anyway,
But actually, the Pirates were lower ranked in the power rankings than the Phantoms, weren't they? This is Champ League.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look at Champ League.
Okay.
Phantoms were 3rd, Pirates were 7th. So
Yeah, so that is exactly what was expected.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Marksman Challenger League. I didn't get a chance to watch the series against the Phoenix, but they're literally on together all the time. I don't
Right.
think I've ever scrolled past that Challenger voice chat and not seen all 3 of them and they're playing together. So they're definitely putting the time in. Kwanzek is a really good player. I don't know much about. I know Call Me Kenneth is also a player with outstanding potential. So I don't think that this jump is overrated. I think they were severely underrated last time.
Okay.
And I think that's also a product of other teams being too highly rated, e.g. the Bandits and the Nova. I think that given the results of this last week, I think that the Marksmen are where they should be.
Okay, well, let's pan that out then as we go into our final set of predictions, and then you guys will get to be able to see, or we'll talk about the playoff format, and then we'll do player of the week. All right, we have our final set of predictions. It's going into week 2 of the Challenger League, the Ninjas and the Phoenix. Your boys, the Phoenix, will they be able to make a jump? Lux, is there any chance? Ninjas looking, let's see, where do we have them in terms of standings? Ninjas doing okay. They just actually recently dropped a game, so they're 1-2, 6-6 now. Can Phoenix rebound into this one?
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to take the Phoenix for this one.
Okay.
Why?
Shocker.
My team has told me that they have beat the Ninjas pretty handily in scrims multiple times.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of taking that that confidence that they have against the Ninjas and bringing it over to the league game. It's going to be their first time playing on stream for at least 2 of them. So we'll see how it goes. But I think that we'll be able to pull it back this week. The guys are pumped. They've been doing replay reviews nonstop. They've been playing together every night. They just got to fix some things with their rotations and their communication, and I think that they'll be good. So I'm going to take the Phoenix for this one.
Esper, you were given a giggle. Did you think there's actually a chance?
I have had this exact same thing happen to me last season. I am starting to worry that Challenger Phoenix are the Challenger Lotus of last season.
Oh boy. Oh, no.
Good news is that there's top 8 make it to playoffs instead of top 6. So
Still a chance. Yeah.
you still have a shot, even if they are the Challenger Lotus of last season.
So
I hear a lot about how good this Challenger Phoenix team is, but every single stat points that they're not good.
okay.
The Ninjas have some proven players in Icy and Wicca, but yet again, they've underperformed from what I expected of those 2 players. I mean, Wicca was the champion with Icy, and then they were both relatively, except for Icy didn't do well. Never mind. Let's just say I think this is a battle of average,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be a game 5, and I'm going to throw it to the Phoenix just because I'm going to pretend to have hope, and then when it's wrong, I can laugh.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw all your hope away. It's gonna be the Ninjas in 3, and that's because Icy and Wicca, they're gonna choose one of their wombo combos in Lime Terrain. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Lime. I think that's gonna be a shutdown, throwdown. It's you were talking about the 2 guys that have not been on stream yet. Sometimes that's reserved for pop-off moments. This is gonna be the bottom 10 of the week. It's gonna be great to watch how just cold these birds will become. So solid L, if you get my drift, between those 2. Yeah, so Ninjas take this particular series. All right, so going into our next matchup, let's see. We have the Bandits and the Marksmen. The Meteoric Collapse versus the Meteoric Rise. Esper, what do you got?
Okay, so the Bandits and the Marksmen.
Right.
I just don't think this Marksman's team is any good. I mean, you look at them in terms of their actual roster. They don't really have a crazy standout player to me. But yet again, I have no faith in Fly Parker ever, so it's going to be a 3-1 Marksman.
Okay.
I take random people I've never heard of over Fly Parker every day of the week.
Okay. And they did just trade out Darth, so this is going to be a tough one anyway for them. So I'm going to have to go with your... I think it's going to be a 3-1 for the Marksman as well, mostly because they're just going to be trying to figure out if Darth is going to be a fun replacement. But I'm pretty sure they're not going to play with him anyway. I think this will be close. It may be 3-1, but we're looking at one goal games. Lux, what about you?
I think the Marksmen are going to win as well. The Bandits lost to some pretty bad teams, and they just lost their second round pick. So I just don't think that they're going to do anything this week.
Gotcha. And then as we look into our final matchup, it is the Pirates versus the Avalanche. And man, I knew that this would happen with the Avalanche. It's about the brothers being there at the exact same time. The Pirates, they've been okay. You got Cheese Imam, Big Rick. I think those guys will be able to stand strong. They did not finish it out against the Phantoms. They're going to learn how to finish their games going into this. I think it will be another 3-1, but...
Hey, before you do this, just some information. The Pirates just lost to the Knights, 3-1.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm. They did.
It just happened.
It just happened?
It just happened.
It's
The Knights are 0-2 at the bottom of Division 2, along with my Phoenix. And they just beat the Pirates.
All right, I'm going to change it up. Pirates will throw 2 games in this and will win game 5 ultimately over the Avalanche. That is what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, Lux, what about you?
I think I'm going to have to give it to the Avalanche here.
Okay.
I'm hoping that somehow Royalty and Crew Aaron can pull out that chemistry, get together. I don't know who their third is.
Minecrafting Dad,
Cryptic or MC. Oh, I'm pretty sure Minecrafting Dad has COVID.
That means it's at home, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't. It depends. I don't really know much about them. I know Crew Aaron is a fantastic player when he's playing. You just have to get him on. And so I'm gonna. It's kind of a toss up for me, and I'm just gonna throw it to the Avalanche just because you picked the Pirates.
Okay, of course. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So, all right. So your final call here, Esper. Before we start talking about playoffs, what do we got?
Okay, I have no trust in this Avalanche team to show up. And it's mostly because I heard all the horror stories about Crew Aaron from last season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. Pirates in game 1 of last week looked really, really good.
Like best of the league, good. Like,
As for the rest, it is not very well. It's not good. It's not gone very well. But I just don't trust Crew Aaron to show up. And even if he does actually show up and play the game, I don't trust him to perform.
wow.
Because he seemed like a very hot, cold player. So I think it's going to be Pirates 3-1.
Okay. You guys can let us know whether you agree or not. I think that one's going to be a fun one to watch if we get to watch it. But Esper, we're going to do a quick breakdown. We've got a little bit of time left going into this. Just so you guys are aware, again, we are going to have a postseason, first off, so welcome. 4 weeks of regular season, 2 weekends of postseason. The first weekend is going to be group stage playoffs, and thereafter, we haven't chosen the exact format for it. I'm thinking it's going to be another double elimination bracket, but the key is that we're going to have 2 groups of 4. Esper, break it down how those are going to be formed.
Do we have any graphic, or can you do like an MS Paint thing? Like a little graphic that I can...
Oh God!
I don't know. I feel like it's easier. Can you please? Yeah.
Okay, let me apparently set this up. Let me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know this was. I mean, I knew this was coming, but I don't want people to be confused.
Okay, let me see if I can.
I feel like it's a pretty easy topic to cover, but I mean, we've had people ask, "What is a Friday?" in this. So
yeah, that's mostly American banter, though. So, like, what are you gonna do about him? We're gonna do this. Then
I'm excited to see this. You always brag about your MS Paint skills, so we're putting them to the test.
This is gonna be this is bracket. All right. I pray that you guys don't suddenly see things you shouldn't see. All right, cool. Cool. This is gonna be we transform fit to screen. Oh, this looks terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. We do this to protect my identity. That's good. Then we transform fit to screen. All right, guys. So let's break it down. All right. It's just in front of us. Okay.
Okay. All right. So you have your first and second seed, each in a separate group. So make those. Is that your first and second seed? Oh, okay.
Yep. Hold on.
Oh my lord. Okay.
There you go. I don't know
Why are you
this-
making so many sound effects?
Because
it's
a struggle.
comedy.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Okay. First, second seed. Banga banga. So you are guaranteed to have these two in different groups. But otherwise, you got
100%.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There you are.
Okay. So the whole point of this is to reward the 1 and 2 seed more. So the end of the stream, week 4 for each league, we will be pulling the GM or whoever into a voice chat on stream, and they will be drafting each other's groups. So what that means is, say the 1 seed who would get the first pick does not want to play against the 3 seed. They would draft the 3 seed into the second seed's group.
Ding. Suddenly it's playoff.
And now the second seed gets to pick. Say they don't like playing the 6th seed.
Ding.
Like it's a counter matchup. They can draft the 6th seed into the first seed's group.
But the difference I think that we were discussing is that we're going to snake pattern this. So because first seed got the privilege of being able to pick that first one, 2 is going to be able to pick 2.
Yep, so now 2 doesn't want to play the 4 seed.
Ding.
The 4 seed goes into the 1's group.
But then it goes back to 1 and
Twice in a row.
Yep. Give them over.
So they don't like the 5 and the 8.
Ding.
I don't think that it should be snake, but we can talk.
We'll talk about whether it's guaranteed snake or not. But regardless, because usually how this would end up for the 1 seed, you would get 1, 4, I think 5 and 8 guaranteed.
Yep.
But this allows for a bit of difference in case. So like these particular teams could be really close about like how near they are in terms of skill. So it's just if you don't like
it's just
counter picks.
avoiding who you don't want to play against. So say you're not good against a Chasey team, you make sure the Chasey team is in the other group.
Yep.
Lux.
Actually,
do that.
you can set up a poll real quick, Esper, of if people think that this should be snake or if it should be back and forth at a time.
Okay.
Regardless,
Snake should only be used when there's like some sort of like snake is for like a longer draft type thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing picks like this, and there's only 2 teams, it should go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay.
Snake or back and forth is the poll.
Snake or back and forth. You guys tell us. Regardless, this is going to be our reward system for the 1 and 2 seed. They're going to get to be able to choose. They will be across the bracket from each other, and it will be a full round robin. That means there will be 6 matches on the day, and that we will be having A and B stream matches, which I don't know why I went to go draw an A, but you know what? We're doing it. There's A. This is B. Come on, can I do it? Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
Skills.
Good job.
And then the top 2 seeds from both groups will be making it to the playoffs. So these 2 guys are responsible for making the groups as they are, and then the top 2 with the best records will be going to the double elimination bracket the next weekend. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I think this is a much cooler way of doing groups instead of ending up with a situation where teams can throw for certain positions.
There's definitely a lot of people saying back and forth. So we may end up going back and forth.
I mean, either way, what we want is achieved. I think the drafting of the groups is the main core idea here.
Yeah.
I don't think the snake or back and forth is really going to change that much.
No. And ultimately, you get to choose who, but you don't get to choose who you want to play. You choose who your opponent plays. And do you think that makes a bigger difference? Because, I mean, you would obviously want to choose like the lesser seed, but instead you're choosing what you assume is the higher seed to counter match up to your opponent.
Yeah, I would hope it makes a difference. I really hope the teams don't just pick based on numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an intelligent team or GM and you know your team doesn't play well against somebody, don't use the numbers. Like, for example, when you used last season. Right, exactly. If Lux could have chose last season when he was the 1 seed, I promise you he would have made sure the ninjas were not in his group.
That's facts.
Like,
there you go.
This incentive, just be smart about it.
All right.
Vanguard League, specifically for Vanguard League this season, it's super close between the like the 3 through the 10 seed. I guess they're not really seeds, but like the 3rd team through the 10th team in the league. Super close. So just because one team is down at number 8 per se doesn't mean that they can't clap you. So
hey, there you guys go. It's gonna be a slightly different format. Who knows? It may end up the exact same as our regular prediction or regular seeding. If you guys make it that way, you did it. It's not our fault, but it's up to you. So I'm taking no responsibility for it other than empowering you guys to have made these decisions. But there is one more thing that we want to show you guys. Player of the week. We are deciding to pick one player that ultimately we believe had not just a performance that needed to be highlighted, but also one that propelled their team one way or another. Luckily this time it was more positive than negative, because there very much is potential for there to be a bottom 10 highlight reel if your player of the week really screwed your team over. We could have done all the backflips of the mob, but we decided not to. So instead, take a little sneak peek into this one.
Right now, it's slowly but surely turning into an offensive showdown, and the drop down.
Wow! Let's look at that one more time. Moldy to the ceiling. It was a big challenge in his face, and ZIRQ goes for the sky dunk. Fubbin never had a chance.
8 teams making playoffs out of 12 teams. I mean, you really only need to win about 3-4 series. So taking 2 in week 1, that's a pretty good feeling.
It is. Maldi with the pass play. He just wanted a big clear, but ZIRQ was in great position and gets it around Fubbin. Avalanche. That man has 1 boost, and he's hanging out on the backboard, and that's not going to work. ZIRQ is going to help build and snowball this particular lead. 4-1, less than 2 minutes left.
So your issue here is you got to find possession, and you've got to be able to hold the ball away from Maldi and away from all of them. Wait.
Hold on. All right, let's rewind this. I know that Avalanche plays ice cool, but do they chill out everyone? Oh no, ZIRQ just got caught. They cannot let this get worse. They cannot. Bandits have been able to rebound. Oh, and they've been able to put on 3 shots just like this. Speed, accuracy, passing, visceral velocity, and they are just going for the throat. Whoop. I was muted for a second. But, so of course, ZIRQ is our player of the week. He had an amazing performance alongside both Sauce and Maldi. Honestly, the entirety of that Bandits roster did just fantastic in their showcase. Did very well. ZIRQ had some times where he did get a little bit worse for wear, and that's why we included that weird goal that he decided not to save. But that overall, that squad did awesome. ZIRQ knew how to clean it up, put the shots in, was our highlight player, and we're gonna be looking for even more clips to be able to get from you guys, from Champ, Vanguard, and Challenger, and be able to get someone from week 2 as well. I'm gonna make, a little bit of extra production on the next one. This one was like, hey, we need to get this. Hey, this guy's awesome. Let's make sure that he's highlighted. Maybe you guys agree with us. Maybe you don't. I don't care. Either way, if you want me to care, make sure you clip the stuff that you do. It helps me a lot, and you can give it to us, and especially GMs, Lux. I could get you guys to go and gather who you think that you could lobby to be your player of the week from your franchises. But regardless, ZIRQ, fantastic job. You did a great bit of performing out there, and you were pretty awesome. I mean, overall, we have some awesome matches coming up here for week number 2. It is starting tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. I mean, Lux, we've been breaking it down all night. Any final words? Do you think the Phoenix will be able to rebound as a franchise this weekend?
Yeah, I do. I think we'll be fine. I'm not concerned at all about any of my franchises at this moment.
Gotcha. What about you, Esper?
Just make sure everybody knows that the player of the week has to be on stream.
It does.
We are not doing random people.
No.
So everybody saying, "Oh, I can hit this in my sleep." First of all, try not leaving a game, and then maybe you'll get
God.
maybe you'll get player of the week. Second of all, you gotta be on stream. So.
All right, and apparently we have been told that we need to host Good Ol' Monster because he is having a Pirates versus Phantoms Vanguard League. He is hosting it. Make sure you guys go check it out. I'm Hell Monkey Man. This has been Esper and Lux. We wish you good luck for this weekend, week 2. Remember, this is midway of the season. Don't screw up. Make sure it's good. We'll see you next time.